The 4 police officers arrested in connection with the shooting of Mthokozisi Ntumba will appear in the Johannesburg Magistrate Court today. The Independent Police Investigative Directorate, which is investigating the matter, recommended their arrests. The officers are from the Public Order Policing Unit. Ntumba was shot dead in Johannesburg during student protest last week after visiting a local clinic. The officers are facing charges of murder, attempted murder, and defeating the ends of justice. For more now, we'll take you to 2 of our reporters. Hasina Gori is inside the court and Nozintombi is outside, Nozintombi Miya. But let's start with you, Hasina. What can you tell us at this time?
Good morning, Desiree. Yes, we are now inside the Johannesburg Magistrate Court. We were in Court 17 where the matter was meant to be heard, but we were told that the docket has not yet arrived and to allow for at least half an hour so that the docket could be brought and the court then be assigned. We were also told to be removed from the courtroom right now to allow for other court proceedings to continue. You can imagine that there's quite a huge media presence here today, quite a big story with much interest in it, and with social distancing, it is quite a problem of who's allowed in and who should be sitting this one out. So the media was asked to leave and to allow for a plan to be made, to allow for the contingents that is here to be accommodated. We know that private security was also called for the media to make sure that social distancing was adhered to at this point. So right now the docket has not yet arrived. We are waiting for that and then to find out in which courtroom the matter would be heard. We know that the 4 are facing charges of murder, attempted murder, as well as defeating the ends of justice for the killing of 35-year-old Mthokozisi Ntumba. We know the family members are also meant to be here. Those that we spoke to through the morning and yesterday said that they welcomed the arrest that happened on Monday after the recommendation of the police watchdog IPID. They said that they hope justice will prevail, but they were told us that not the entire family or a huge group would come today because they're also preparing for the funeral of Ntumba, who will be laid to rest on a Saturday, the 20th of March in Bergville in KwaZulu-Natal. So for now, we are waiting that docket to be brought to the courtroom and then for proceedings to begin. We've been told that the media will not be allowed to record the proceedings, but only be able to get visuals of those police officers before and after court proceedings. It is an ongoing story and we'll keep you up to date as it happens. Back to you in studio, Desiree.
Hasina, thank you so much for bringing us up to date. You hear it from Hasina. I think in the next 30 minutes, the process should be able to start. Let's go through now to Nozintombi Miya, who is outside the court. Nozintombi, what can you tell us?
Thank you so much, Desiree. Really quite a heightened police presence outside here. And as Hasina said, so interestingly, inside, while all the proceedings are continuing inside, outside, it's also a hub of activity. Behind me, you'll see the heightened police presence. We counted up to at least 9 additional police vehicles that have been brought here outside the Johannesburg Magistrate Court. And this is really quite an unusual occurrence. I mean, we cover a lot of stories, specifically at Johannesburg Magistrates Court, and it is quite unusual to see this heightened number of police presence. And Desiree, I'm just going to ask my camera colleague, Spoon Ladani, just to pan towards my right. And here you'll see the entrance of the court, and you'll see that they've implemented quite strict protocol. And this is quite a double whammy really for the court officials here, because they are making sure that they are implementing regular health protocols for the COVID-19, but also making sure that they are monitoring access into and out of the court area. And each person that comes in is being vetted to check which courtroom they're going to, which court they're going to. And this is important because, Desiree, we do know that the students are making their way from Braamfontein. They're going to be marching from Braamfontein and making their way through the streets of the city to come down here to the Joburg Magistrate Court, where they will be giving support to the family of Mthokozisi Ntumba, because Mthokozisi Ntumba obviously was caught in the crossfire between the police and students protesting, and we are anticipating that it will be quite a hub of activity. There will be heightened emotions that are expected to play out here as the students make their way, and we will obviously be showing you those visuals and giving you rolling coverage of the visuals of the students as they make their way here to the Johannesburg Magistrate Court as they come through. And we do know from the WITS SRC president, who spoke to me a little bit earlier, that the students are anticipating that they'll be here from about 10:30, because they were told that the court processes will be starting anytime after 11. And obviously with the delays that Hasina spoke about earlier in her crossing, obviously we will be checking to see what time the court proceedings will begin, and how many of the students will be allowed access inside the courtroom, and how many of those students will stay outside chanting songs of support and giving their support and presence outside the Johannesburg Magistrates Court. Desiree.
Thank you so much for setting the scene there for us. Of course, the story will continue to follow. Tshwane Metro Municipality will